Let's go to Ryan in Manhattan. Ryan.
Hey, Michael. So I saw your interview the other day, or your chat with John Heyman, and I still don't understand why a lot of people just don't get the Juan Soto payroll. And I think that maybe it would be beneficial if you could chat a little about that. And please tell me if I'm wrong, but people still think that Juan Soto only got $5 million more, when in reality he got $100 million more, right? Because the opt-out, which definitely will happen, the value of a Yankees suite over the next 15 years, or a Mets suite, which is probably around $30 million, then the MVP bonuses and all the rest of it. And then as well as, by the way, what are they going to pay if Juan Soto wants to play the 16th year, right? What is that going to pay him? Is it going to be 30, 40, or 50 million, right? And so it literally equals over $100 million, right? And by my calculations, please tell me if I'm wrong, and I would love if you could expand on that a little bit, because I feel like people are just not
I'm glad you brought it up, because when John brought it up on the podcast, and you're talking about the podcast that he does with Joel, and I was a guest, he said there's only a $5 million difference, and that's being, and I love John. I've known John for 40 years. But that's being a little disingenuous. So you're looking at the Mets' final total was 765, and the Yankees was 760. But the Yankees were a 16-year contract. The Mets are a 15-year contract, and the value of the Mets contract goes up after year 5 because they'll give them the $5 million raise on every single year for the next 10 years of the contract. So that brings the Mets up to 810 to the Yankees 760. He also wanted a suite from Yankee Stadium. As far as I know, I think suites at Yankee Stadium go for $1.5 million a year. The good ones, right? So then $1.5 million times the 15 years, you're talking about, another $20 million. You add that on. And all the other perks, you add those on. It wasn't just $5 million. And everybody wants to make it out to be that he didn't take the most money. And I don't know why people want to make that out to be that, because so what if he took the most money? He's a businessman. That's why he turned down all the money from the Nationals. He wanted to get the most money. Now you can say, well, he believes the Mets are going to be better and Steve Cohen's going to add people. Maybe all of that's true. But let's say that Steve Cohen offered $700 million and the Yankees offered the $760 that they gave. I guarantee you he would have taken the Yankee offer. So don't tell me it wasn't money, that it was other stuff. His mom couldn't get past Yankee security. All of that is just set up to make you think, well, look how altruistic he was. He didn't take as much. I heard that the Blue Jays might have wanted to offer more than the Mets, but they didn't. And I believe that Steve Cohen was not going to be outbid. So please don't tell me the difference was $5 million. That's being disingenuous. Yankee contract was for 16 years, and the Met contract is for 15. So it's 765 to 760. So if you want to go with the thing, well, it wasn't about the money, you'll go with those numbers. But you know that the Met offer, they're not going to turn down the option. The Met offer is $810 million to the Yankees 760, including the free suite for 15 years, including the 24-hour security, including the wardrobe for his mom, including the 22 seats for every single game in the most expensive section at Citi Field. And I am not saying there's anything wrong with him taking the most money. Please don't make it out to be that. I think it's capitalism at its height. But please don't say, well, because the Mets, he thinks they have a brighter future. He might think they have a brighter future, but you know what the big test would have been? If the Mets offered $650 and the Yankees offered, Mets offered $550 and the Yankees offered $650. Where would he have gone? Really, everybody, where would he have gone? Money played a big role in this, and there's nothing to be ashamed about. If you're a Met fan, you shouldn't feel ashamed, because one of the strengths of your team is the fact that Steve Cohen has a lot of money, and this stuff doesn't fluster him. That's an advantage you have. That's another bow, another quiver you have in your backpack. Why would you deny it? Yankees never denied that money was a big option for them when they were able to get all those free agents. So why would you say that money had nothing to do with this? Of course it did. Let's not be naive. We're not dumb. We're not young. There's not a first trip around the block. The Met offer was $810. Yankees was $760. That's not $5 million. And all the other perks add up to a lot too. Stop. Money played a huge role. Now, I know Met fans are going to be lying in wait now. He's so upset they lost. I'm not upset about anything. I'm just speaking you the truth. He took the most money. I'm sorry, he did. Took the most money. Because if he loved the Mets so much, why did Steve Cohen, 2 days before the agreement was made, he didn't think they had him? Because he had to up his offer. He had to up the offer. So don't tell me that he didn't think he had him, and then he upped his offer, and all of a sudden he had him. Curious, right? Tim Kirchin joins us in just a moment. You definitely want to stay tuned for that.